Hello and welcome to Crypto.xyz. Please note that this content is not financial advice and that it's intended for entertainment purposes only. Crypto trading is extremely volatile and risky, and you should proceed with caution. My name's Mike and I'm here to advocate for safe crypto trading. I started buying crypto in July 2020 and Coinbase was the first exchange where I registered, and my first investment was Chainlink. Living in the north of Ireland places me under the UK jurisdiction, and it has served me well to have a centralized cryptocurrency exchange that is regulated in the UK and licensed, and that is where Coinbase comes in. To clarify, Binance is not regulated by the FCA at the time of recording. Although accessible in the UK, Binance is not regulated here. And this presented a glaring issue in June 2021 when Binance suspended UK fiat payments. Ultimately, this prevented users from depositing and withdrawing in GBP. And this actually sent me back from Binance to Coinbase so that I could continue to deposit and withdraw in pounds. But whenever I arrived back at Coinbase, I was reminded why I left for Binance, and that was due to the high fees that get applied on transactions. When I joined in September 2020 in Binance, I was able to save considerably when depositing via debit card. Looking back, when I first joined Coinbase, I was new to the market and I wasn't savvy. I didn't know how to avoid the fees, but now I do. And that is where I am going to try and help today, is to show you how I deposit in pounds without attracting the high fees. Now I will go over to Coinbase and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the home screen of Coinbase. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to assume that anyone watching has a Coinbase account in the UK or can go and sign up to one. When joining Coinbase, you need to pass KYC. And when I passed KYC, Coinbase asked for a scan of my identification, which is a passport or driver's license, and it took my middle name along with my first name and my last name. And just to reiterate, this is important that you go to your settings. So they're up in the corner. You can go to settings and click there, and it will actually, when you scroll down, it will show you the legal name that Coinbase has taken, and this can't be adjusted basically. So you'll need to ensure that your bank account matches your KYC on Coinbase. So I am now going to go to the portfolio screen here. Now in the portfolio screen, you will notice that the British pound appears at the top for me. So I'm going to click on that. And we can see that there is an option to add cash. So I'm going to click on add cash, and this will tell you the reference number that must be used in bank transfers. So basically what you can do is go to your UK bank account and add a new payee, and when you're creating the new payee, you can add Coinbase as the recipient of the payment, and then there will also be a sort code here for Coinbase. There is an account number for Coinbase, and when you're sending the payment, you need to input in the reference, and it might differ depending on bank, but I found it quite simple for mine. I bank with Starling, so I copied in this reference number, the CBA is for Coinbase. The GBP signifies it's GBP, and then the other digits are to ensure that the funds will reach your account. So I'm quite casual with my Coinbase account. I don't currently invest much in it compared to other exchanges. However, I'm going to be using it for my GBP withdrawals. So as we can see, after I created Coinbase as the payee, I was able to deposit funds, GBP, directly into my Coinbase account. Some of that I've actually converted already, but anyway, here is the GBP. So I'm now going to go to the trade option. Now, I've only got a negligible amount of GBP here, but I'm not intending on trading right now, but you can see there is some there, so it is possible to deposit straight to GBP. And the beauty of this is that you will not incur any fees from Coinbase. Now, if I go to the trade option, now if we go to Bitcoin here, there's a buy option. I have a GBP wallet, but I'm going to switch it to a credit card just for now. So this is a sample of a payment. So let's just say it's £10 you're wanting to buy of Bitcoin. I'm going to preview the buy. And as we can see, out of £10, Coinbase is going to charge me a fee of 99 pence, which is nearly 10% of what you're actually spending. Now I'm going to increase this to £100 as another preview buy. And this is all done on a debit card. So as a debit card purchase, it's slightly friendlier when you're paying £100, but we can see here that that's 3.84% fee. And I think we can all agree with inflation taking down the value of our pounds that we do have, we don't want to give away any more for nothing. Now, if I'm going to my portfolio again, right, there's pounds. Now go back to trade. Now if I'm wanting to convert from my GBP wallet, you will still have to pay the same fees as a debit card. That's just, even though you've got the money, the GBP in your portfolio, Coinbase still charge quite a high fee for that, and it is pretty much the same as your debit card. But this is where I have a way around it. Now I'm going to go to Google. I'm going to go to Coinbase Pro. Now, compared to some of the other exchanges, I feel that Coinbase Pro is a little more temperamental. Okay, I've had to refresh 3 times to bring this up. So basically, it can be a lot to take in, but I'm going to try and make this as manageable for you as possible. Now, it says I've got 0 GBP here. Now, if we click the deposit button, you can then click on GBP from the list of assets and click on Coinbase.com. Now, because you'll already be logged into Coinbase on another tab, you can see how much you have on your main Coinbase account, input that, and then you are allowed to click deposit. And this will move the funds to the trading platform automatically. And as you can see, it's saying 0 fee here. Now, whenever I did this with £100, it was still 0 fees. So the fees went straight in. Now, if you don't want to get into the complexities of trading, what I found is that I went to Tether, which has the coin ticker USDT, and if you input an acceptable amount, so let me look at what people are trying to sell. So they're trying to sell it for 0.7430. Now Coinbase has a slight issue with choosing to buy the exact value of the current sale. So I recommend, in my experience, I would have gone to 0.7431. So I'm going to do the second option there on the list. So the second best offer for 3. So you put that in as the limit price, 7433, and then you can basically just click the max amount, and that will ensure that all of your pounds are going to get converted to USDT. Now, after you've placed the buy order, you basically just have to wait a moment or two, and maybe a few minutes, and then as the bids work their way out, your offer, I found it took a few minutes, my offer got filled, and as we can see here, it's got my past fills. So I got filled for 0.7242, and that got me $128.20 in USDT. Now I'm going to just actually show you how I'm loading in funds here. So Coinbase, I've got $267.50 and in USDT, so I'm actually going to bring that in now, and it's no fee. So there we go, we can actually see that I've got $267.50, and then if I were wanting to go back to GBP, I would put in a buying bid, excuse me, no, so I would sell my USDT. Now these are the buyers, this is what they're willing to pay currently. This is what the sellers are seeking. Honestly, if I was just not in a rush, or if I would just take, if I wanted to get done but without waiting, I can just add my order to the list there. So I've put in my limit price based on copying the current closest sell order, clicked the max button with all of my USDT, and I can place the sell order to get the pounds back, and when I had the pounds, then I could withdraw them again here, because what I'm actually going to do now is send my USDT, which is a crypto stablecoin based on the US dollar. I'm actually going to send that straight back to Coinbase. So it's going from default portfolio to coinbase.com. It's going to go without fee. So done. The USDT is no longer there. Now, if you start getting into trading, you can go to a GBP market even. Say something like Bitcoin. Go to the GBP market. Now, it gets complicated because it's volatile. The sales are quick. But actually, on the bigger markets, Coinbase will let you do a market buy where you would say hypothetically put in £100 and then it would see the fee here, 50 pence. Now that is much better than paying, like closer to £4. That's a massive saving. So you're getting your funds on for free, and centralized exchange trading is not entirely free of fees, but it's actually cheaper than doing the consumer method where it's paying directly by a debit card. So of course what you can also do is the tether that you might have swapped to. You can go to markets that are in tether, so Bitcoin would be one of them. There's tons more, and you would have your tether, and then you can set up a limit by looking at the current amount of USDT that is required to buy one Bitcoin. You would assign it here. Let's say that you decide, I want to pay 40,000 to Bitcoin. 40. So okay, so it's going to go in here. So again, I find this Coinbase Pro a bit finicky compared to other exchanges. Okay, so there you go. This would let you get 1% of a Bitcoin at 40,000. That's you placing your bid, if and taking the patient approach. However, there's also a market approach that would let you just say put in 100 USDT and you would just buy however much of a Bitcoin that would afford you. However, Coinbase Pro is a bit complicated, especially if you're new. So as I've shown, you can get your pounds onto Coinbase with no fees by doing a bank transfer, and then you transfer the funds by using the deposit option here. And when you have the pounds here, you can do market buys on the bigger ones. You'll need to do limit orders on some of the smaller orders, and you can't pick the current best selling price quite often on Coinbase Pro. I find you sort of need to pick the next one up. But I actually find a much easier option is that, say you have your tether, you've converted your GBP to tether, and then you withdraw your tether, as I've shown, to your Coinbase account by using the withdraw button. And when you're on Coinbase, so as an example here, I'm going to my portfolio, tether, boom, my funds are back. I transferred them to Coinbase Pro, I've transferred them back to here. That aspect is really simple and effective. Now, because I've got tether, I'm going to go into the trade area. Now, what you'll actually find is that there's a buy option that I find is a wee bit misleading, because this will focus on your GBP wallet, which is funded by your bank account, and then there's a debit card option. However, what you do if you've got tether is you go to convert. So we're on Bitcoin just now, from tether to Bitcoin, and say you wanted to buy $100. I've got enough tether to cover that, so I'm previewing the conversion, and we can see that they're not quoting me a Coinbase fee here. That's 0. Whereas if I were trying to buy directly, as we know, for £100, there we are, £3.84, and it's nearly 10% if you're just doing £10. So that's basically what I do. I take money from my bank account, I send it to Coinbase so that I'm not paying any fees. I then go into Coinbase Pro, as we've seen. I go to the deposit option, I go to GBP, click on Coinbase.com, and you choose the amount you want to move from Coinbase.com to your default portfolio on Coinbase Pro, and then you then deposit the funds. You can then choose to do market buys by clicking here for a market. Go to GBP, see what's available. You can do market buys. Limit orders are more complicated, or you could go to something like Tether and convert your funds to Tether, then withdraw the Tether to your Coinbase account, because basically the conversion option is not provided for GBP. Just let me show you. See, there's no option to do that. So basically what I've done, and this is quite an underactive account for me on Coinbase, so what I've done is I have got Tether sitting ready to go, and I'm just going to convert when I like prices. Now, when you're, say you've got some gains and you want to cash out, you know, you're going to need GBP again. So, and I think the Coinbase Pro approach is a lot more efficient, because you're going to pay the lower exchange fees, and as I've shown you before, you can go between the two. It's an extra step, but it's definitely worth it. It helps you save fees. Now, and then when you're ready, you know, you can go to your portfolio, you have your pounds sitting there, and you can choose to cash out, and the money can be taken to your bank account, and you can realize those gains. Now with Coinbase, I got put off by the fees, which is why I left. There used to be, you know, I was a bit naive with it. I was paying debit card fees, not really thinking, just thinking that was the price of doing business. But I'm so glad that I've looked into the approach of doing it free via bank transfer, because it allows me to load my pounds in. I go to Coinbase Pro, I convert to Tether, I then wait for dips, and then I convert, and that's without using the more complicated aspects of Coinbase Pro. And I'm glad to be back at Coinbase, to be honest, because if I'll show you for a moment, the coin selection is so much better than it used to be, and this is awesome for an FCA regulated exchange in the UK. You have that extra security, but you're not missing out on some of the best coins, because Coinbase, it used to really suck for the coins, to be honest. That's why, another reason why I ended up going to Binance. So as I look down the list, you've got your usual suspects, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then other popular coins are here. We've got Cardano, Solana, Polkadot, Uniswap, Chainlink, Atom is there, Polygon. I know that Avalanche is coming soon, and basically, as you can see, there's a decent amount here, and Coinbase has been open about wanting to increase the number of coins and get quicker about listing, because let me tell you, they used to be very slow with listing coins. So yeah, with Coinbase you can manage GBP effectively. You can cut your fees with these tips, and there's now a better range of coins. So Coinbase is the exchange I'm going to be depending on for my deposits of pounds and for cashing out. One final tip I would give you is that, like, a lot of the transfers that you'll do, say you want to go to another exchange, even if you're using Tether as a USDT stablecoin, because you can't use UDC apparently in the UK, I've noticed on Coinbase. So even though I've got Tether here, Tether works across multiple networks. However, Coinbase only does ERC20s, which is the Ethereum network, and the fees, in my experience, I would expect to pay $20 in fees to send by that format, which is not how I transfer Tether on other networks. Basically on Binance or KuCoin or FTX, I use Tron, and that's because I might only expect to have $1. Now, what I found as a wee cheeky alternative is to convert my funds Tether. I've converted Tether into Atom before, because you might only spend a few cents, and from another exchange I've used Atom. I've sent it to Coinbase for minimal fees by using this receive option. And if you were sending, and I found that like if I convert Tether into Atom and I send the Atom to Binance or FTX, no, actually, because Binance has Atom, so if I send that Atom to Binance, I can then convert it to Tether, and I avoid a $20 charge. Now, in the space of a couple of minutes, this can all be done, and you're not really worrying about massive fluctuations in price. However, it does help to take a note of what you're spending, of how much the Atom costs, and how much you're selling for, just in case there's a slight knockdown to add in on the fees. But considering it's $20 to send on the ERC20 network, or thereabouts, it's expensive. So that's just my advice. It's because Coinbase, I'm hoping that what they will do eventually is maybe connect to the Tron network, TRX, and then you can get those $1 fees. But also what is potentially more promising is, so Terra USD, this is an algorithmic stable coin as part of the Luna landscape. Currently it's only ERC20 here, so I'm actually hoping that they will open up to Luna and have the cheaper option there as well, so we're not then putting our funds onto Coinbase and having to pay fees later on down the line, because basically the fees can really add up in crypto, and I found that it improves my profitability if I keep them to a minimum and cut them out, especially if you're dealing with larger sums. Anyway, I think that just about covers what I wanted to say about cutting deposit fees of pounds on Coinbase. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe, as that will help my channel grow, and I look forward to seeing you back here on Discover Crypto XYZ.